bring civil society organizations up to speed with issues around cybersecurity, which is everybody's concern. But in particular, we want to also understand the issues around rights on the internet, so digital rights, freedom, etc. And so this morning's theme is making our national cybersecurity policy and strategy citizen-centric. So how does these things that governments develop put the interest of the ordinary people in terms of the rights for protection, etc., etc. So let me just apologize for the late start. I'd like us to start by inviting the Executive Director for Acdro, Kenneth Edwamanfo, to sit up on the stage. We also want to invite Leah Kaspar, Executive Director for Global Partners Digital, to also take a seat as we invite them one after the other to make their remarks. Let's welcome them with a round of applause. I would now invite Kenneth Edwamanfo to make the opening welcome and also the object for the workshop. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Good morning. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Chairman, Management, and staff of Africa Cybersecurity and Digital Rights Organization, Acdro, I wish to welcome you all to this second Civil Society's Cybersecurity Workshop. To our organizing partners, Global Partner Digital, I wish to welcome you for taking all the time to flown all the way from the United Kingdom to just be part, make sure this workshop is a success. We want to say in the local dialect, Akwaba. It gives me great pleasure to see many like-minded people in the civil society community and non-governmental organizations to attend today's very important workshop themed Making Our National Cyber Security Policy and Strategy Citizen-Centric. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in February this year, we organized our maiden Civil Society Cybersecurity Training Workshop, which focused on awareness creation and building the capacity of the civil society organizations. Following the successful maiden workshop and subsequent demands from the community for further capacity building, we decided to organize this very second cybersecurity workshop for the civil society organizations. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is hard for us to imagine how quickly the digital and internet technology has transformed the way in which we live our lives. The internet has actually brought the cyberspace to our doorsteps, and almost everything we do is fully dependent on the internet. 20 years ago, many of us were wondering whether internet banking would become widely accepted as a preferred and trusted channel for conducting our banking businesses. But now, it would be hard to contemplate how retail bank can survive a single day without the internet or digital banking services for whatever reasons. Given the virtual nature and interconnectedness of the cyber world, clearly the security of the cyber world would require different approach from the approach in which we approach our physical security. In the real world, you would protect your home and property by installing a safe door with a strong lock. You may want to buy a safe deposit box to store your cash or valuable items. For those who take their home security even more seriously, they may hire on-site security guards, just like the kings and the queens who build heavily guarded forts to protect them and their families from attacks from their enemies. Well, one of the things for sure, all these security and safety measures do not come cheaply, but it is the price that people know they have to pay to get themselves protected in the physical environment. Likewise, in the cyber world, just like the real world, there are plenty of risks and dangers. Financial crimes will occur whenever there is money to be made. And for sure, criminals and hackers alike will use their best endeavors to penetrate the defense of the cyber world to rob or steal either your personal identifier information or your critical data. The strength of the cyber world also lies its main weakness. Hackers can choose to attack customers, financial firms, anytime, anywhere, because the virtual world is highly interconnected. Cyber attacks can take many different forms. A frequently used method is to make phishing attempts to trick customers in divulging their account information and passwords, or to plant malwares into customers' computers and mobile phones to steal their access credentials. And this is how they do, and they defraud people. You realize you go to your bank and your money, which is supposed to be in the bank, is not there. These are some of the high techniques that these hackers use to defraud people for their own benefit. Cybersecurity today is at the top of the list of priorities in many countries, and efforts are being made across the globe to mitigate this risk of cyber attacks. The cyber menace is pervasive and cut across all walks of life because of the internet become our principal mode of communication today. When we get up from our bed, the first thing we do is to pick our phones, either make a call or make a WhatsApp call or check our WhatsApp. So although many are unaware, there are several attacks being launched from their cell phones or from their personal computers because of the lack of culture of cybersecurity. So you find many people using their computers and they are working, and these computers have been hijacked by hackers, and they are using it as a point of contact to, issue cyber attacks. And that is why it's important that we organize such an awareness creation workshop and capacity building to build your knowledge so that you can play safe in the cyber environment. Though the internet has become a powerful tool for many information sharing, self-expression, and communication, the increase in cyber threats has outweighed the enjoyment of internet rights and freedom. It is my hope, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that all participants that are hearing gathered today will make relevant contributions to this workshop to ensure that the citizen is the center of our national cybersecurity strategy and efforts. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is also my hope that this will further increase our public awareness in the area of cybersecurity and also bring us as civil society and non-governmental organizations together for a closer collaboration on this very important subject. Once again, I want to welcome you all again to this very important second Civil Society Cybersecurity Workshop. And I say enjoy the workshop. Thank you very much.
Let's give him another round. You can do it better. Thank you very much, Ken, for your remarks. Before we go on, I think I'd just like to acknowledge the presence of the chairman of the board of Acdro, Ambassador Major General retired Francis Edu Amamfo. And may I crave your indulgence to please move in here and chair as we do all these things. Thank you. Now, I'd like to invite to the podium Leah Kasper, Executive Director, Global Partners Digital. Let's welcome her with a round of applause, please.
Thank you very much, Eric. Good morning, everyone. 1 second. Distinguished Ambassador, ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be in Accra, Ghana again, and to see many of you and many familiar faces. Now, as the Executive Director of Global Partners Digital, I would like to, first of all, thank the leadership of Acdro for hosting this workshop and inviting us to join you here. Now, Global Partners Digital is a social purpose company that is based in the UK and works at the intersection of human rights and digital technology. Now, although we are based in London, we work with partners around the world in order to enable a digital environment that's underpinned by human rights and democratic values. I wonder, and often when I make these introductory remarks, I ask a question, what is it that cybersecurity then has to do with our rights and freedoms? It might not be as straightforward on the first go. So at GPD, we see the link in a twofold way. On the one hand, and this is something that Kenneth already noted in his introductory remarks, cybersecurity has become, in the digital environment, a key prerequisite for our ability to enjoy our rights. It's very simple. If our systems and networks are not secure, then how can we, then they're open to malicious actors to exploit vulnerabilities and subsequently not only undermine our financial services, our critical infrastructure, but also our individual data, which directly impacts upon our right of privacy. I think that's the direct link there. However, there is a second correlation that I would like to make, and that we've seen, a worrying trend that we've seen in a very legitimate effort to address some of these risks and threats that have come about as intrinsic part of the digital environment. We have also seen a proliferation of laws and policies that, in an effort to address them, at the same time can consciously or subconsciously undermine our rights. And the question that we have for you, and I think for this workshop, for all of us together, is how do we ensure that we tackle these threats in a way that does not infringe upon our rights? In other words, how do we ensure that we have a cyberspace that is secure, but at the same time free and open? So that is what we're trying to get to here. But to be very practical, how do we go about this? How do we ensure that this happens? For us, we think there's two parts to the story. Again, on the one hand, we think that the way of doing this is to ensure that as these policies and measures and laws are being developed, that human rights considerations are taken into account. And part and parcel of this approach, and the second part of the answer for us, is to involve citizens in these conversations and in the policy development process. That means all of you here and all relevant stakeholders, bringing all of you to the table during the process of developing and implementing these policies. So I think these workshops are part of that process. I think what we're currently, in order to kind of implement this approach at GPD, we're working in over 14 countries at the moment, including Ghana. I want to say that we have been incredibly privileged and lucky to witness the progress in this country and the way, and to see this approach actually being implemented in Ghana. From our perspective, it's been really great to see how stakeholders have been involved in the process of the development and the implementation of the national cybersecurity strategy here in Ghana. And we keep talking about the Ghanaian example as an example to other countries that both in Global South and Global North that should be replicated and aspired to. Now, what I'd like to say is that we're here as part of a project that is supported by the UK Foreign and Commonwealth Office. It's working to support the implementation of the Commonwealth Cyber Declaration that's been passed last year. Now, the reason why this is important is because for our policymakers, they commit to different things. And last year, Commonwealth policymakers have agreed to prioritize cybersecurity capacity building across the Commonwealth, and this is part of our efforts to support the implementation of these commitments. As part of that declaration, they have also committed to protecting and promoting, again, human rights and to involving stakeholders. And this is an important accountability mechanism for us to be able to say, well, you know, you have committed to this, and we're now following up on these commitments. To end, I would just like to thank you all once again. Thank Kenneth, Eric, and the whole Acdro team. I would like to wish you all a successful workshop and fruitful discussions. I'm looking forward to being with you here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Leah. Let's do it better. She's flown all the way from the UK here. We need to show our Ghanaian, hospitality and, right. So thank you very much for those introductory speeches. I'd like you to take your seat as I invite the second set of people to make the remarks. Now, I'd like to invite Suleiman Ibrahim. I think he's not yet here, from the Media Foundation for West Africa. I also want to invite Mr. Marcus Adome, who is president of the Internet Society Ghana. I also want to invite Dr. Hila Ado, vice president of Lucas University, to take a place right now. I'm told Awo is not able to make it, and I don't know whether there's a representative from Albert Ntribesiako, who is the National Cybersecurity Advisor. All right, so I think Suleiman will be here a little later, so when he comes, we'll let him make the remarks, even when we are on into the other discussions. So let me now invite to the podium Mr. Marcus Gajepo Adome, the president of Internet Society Ghana chapter, to make his opening remarks. Let's welcome him with a round of applause, please.
Thank you very much. Executive Director of Acdro, Executive Director of Global Partners Digital, Executive Director of Media Foundation for West Africa, or REP. Rep of Child Online Africa, Vice President of Lucas. members of civil society coalition on cybersecurity, distinguished members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to make this opening remark at the opening of the second Civil Society Cybersecurity Workshop on behalf of the Internet Society Ghana chapter. For the benefit of those who do not know about it, the Internet Society is a global non-profit organization with 124 chapters in 116 countries around the world. The Internet Society was established in 1992 with a vision: the Internet is for everyone. The Internet Society's mission is to support and promote the development of the Internet as a global technical infrastructure and a resource to enrich people's life and a force for good in society. Currently, the Internet Society is focused on 4 areas: connecting the world, building trust, improving technical security, shaping the Internet's future. Building trust has to do with the security of the Internet, that is cybersecurity. In line with its vision, mission, and focus, the Internet Society has supported the development of the Internet in Africa by developing capacity of the technical community through the AFNOG programs, which supports and technical infrastructure, that's exchange points. The Internet Society supports Africa and West Africa IGF. Ghana chapter was established in 1996, 4 years after the global, and is a chartered chapter of the Internet Society. Inspired by the vision of the Global Internet Society, the Ghana chapter has been instrumental in developing capacity of technical community through its GHNOG project, which trained over 200 engineers, scalable management and of the Internet infrastructure in Ghana. Last week, we co-convened Ghana IGF to discuss issues around the Internet. Some of the themes or something discussed were Internet accessibility and affordability, Internet security, among others. The chapter is committed to the development of the Internet in Ghana and cybersecurity, and is happy to be part of this coalition. ISO Ghana is happy to provide technical expertise as well as non-technical understanding to the coalition to support the work of Acdro. Welcome to this workshop and have fruitful deliberation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marcus. Let's give him another one. He deserved it. Now, let me invite Dr. Hila Ado, who is the Vice President of Lucas University, to make his remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, distinguished Chairman, Executive Director, all protocol observed. My role here is to present some justification of academia being involved in what you're doing here. The eminent academic of Ghana, Professor Alote, indicated, and I quote, "We paid the price for not taking part in the Industrial Revolution of the late 18th century because we did not have the opportunity to see what was taking place in Europe. Now we see that information technology has become an indispensable tool. We can no longer sit down and watch passively. So we have an immense role in making sure that the internet is of benefit to all of us. And if cyberspace was a problem, the proponents of the internet did not see it that way. They rather saw an opportunity, a tool to win the war, all forms of war. That's what they were prepared for. And this is what they envisage in their vision. An internet, a cyberspace for everyone, comprising multi-stakeholders, working in sync and leading the world into what today is the fourth industrial revolution. Today, if you don't have the internet, there is not much you can do. The original idea of the internet as its developers came from academia. In fact, academia was in the forefront of developing the internet. And not just academia at the lower level, at very, very high level. Now, 60% of those involved in developing the internet had a PhD. And it was high-level research. Now, another point I want to make is that they worked in very specialized laboratories. And the internet was envisioned as a technical tool to solve the problems of the world. It was conceptualized as an engineering tool. The internet was developed mainly for the purpose of communication. We are communicating anyway, but it looks like some intruders are frustrating our communication and what we should do. The internet delivery came from the public sector. Now, the academics came in to do their own thing. Then the public sector, which is the army, came in to make sure that the war is won. Very important issue is that all the developers of the internet worked in this laboratory, this, ARPANET, they call it. The internet, we are all ushered into the internet today because it's a global village. I mean, those are some of the implications of the internet. The future is happening faster than we anticipate. There is something called the Internet of Things now. Understand, when that happens, everything you are involved in is, part of the internet. That's what the Internet of Things are, and it's going to happen. It's already happening somewhere. Technology access and use of disaggregation index between the rich and poor is what we see today. If you are an individual and you don't have an internet, you are disaggregated as a poor person. That is what it is. A fusion of technologies that is blurring the lines between physical, digital, biological sciences. Now, we can't know whether we are operating in the physical sphere, biological sphere, or whatever sphere. It's all coming together as one. I don't know whether the fifth 5G is in Ghana yet, but it's soon yet to come. And when 5G arrives, you would begin to see what the internet is about. Yeah, the internet leads to the creation of the world's richest, the Amazons, the Facebooks. You know them already. No, I don't need to tell you. Of course, the internet has its risks, which include crime, cybercrime, and the need for cybersecurity. That's why we are here. Need for internet governance to derive the benefits, which include the revolution presents opportunities for Africa to transform itself. We missed the Industrial Revolution. So this is an opportunity to transform ourselves. If we miss this one, too bad. And with the internet, we can catch up with the rest of the world in areas of efficient government, e-government, e-health, e-education, e-agriculture, name all the E's. E-commerce. The world is globalizing. So you need e-commerce to be part of that sphere. If we miss the 10 of the digital revolution presented by the internet, Africa African countries, and for that matter, African individuals will end up in the 21st century dominated as it happened when we missed the Industrial Revolution. This is what I want to tell you all. So what does academia want? Academia in Ghana has its problems. So we need support for the establishment of specialized scientific laboratories in public and private universities. The laboratories are not there. So we go and learn book long, speak big English. We are not developing any tool, and that's not good enough. So how are we going into this internet world when we can't develop any tool, any system? But you can only do that when there are laboratories that you develop these tools. Because you don't develop these tools with chalk and talk. You don't do that. We need support to create and publish, not only publish, because many people don't read what we publish anyway. We need support for scholarships for students offering science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Today we're talking about the STEM courses: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Those are the courses that lead to developing tools for the internet. We don't have many of that. We need multi-stakeholder collaborations between the national, international research organizations, government departments, industry, entrepreneurs, business, the private sector, civil society, organizations, and the internet community. We don't want a university system now where university is here and the rest of the world is here. We are running parallel. No, that's not good enough for academia as we want it. The Internet Governance Forum, I would want to attend that one to tell Ghanaians what academia wants in terms of support. Cybersecurity is a threat to the beneficial use of the internet, and we in developing countries are most vulnerable. The threats of the internet, to me, emanate from sick, twisted, and sometimes poor technical minds. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, let's get the ideas together and enjoy this process. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hila Acdro. We have come to a very important stage of this meeting, and it's time to have the keynote address. I'd like to invite my co-MC, Elma Opata, to introduce the keynote speaker. Let's welcome her with a round of applause, please.
Thank you. Ambassador Major General, retired, Francis Aduamanfo, is currently Ghana's Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary, accredited to the Republics of Mali and Mauritania. He served meritoriously in the Ghana Armed Forces for 37 years and distinguished himself as an officer and a gentleman to reach the honorable rank of Major General and Head of Defense Intelligence. General Aduamanfo has wide-ranging experience and competence in senior leadership, strategic and conflict management, international relations, and diplomacy. He's also a global peace and security analyst and consultant, social entrepreneur in the field of education and motivational youth pastor, corporate executive, and above all, an author. General Aduamanfo previously served in Liberia as Ghana's ambassador and head of Monrovia missions from 2006 to 2009, where he performed outstandingly by his exceptional leadership skills to help stabilize and reconstruct a country that had just come out of a protracted civil war. Deriving from his outstanding leadership qualities, experience, and other competences, the President of the Republic of Ghana, in July 2017, recommissioned him as ambassador to the Republic of Mali, another conflict zone in West Africa. Since his arrival to the head of Bamako mission in August 2017, General Aduamanfo, apart from his normal diplomatic duties, has been engaged in national programs for security sector reform and stabilization of security of the Sahel-Sahara region. As a holder of an MBA from the University of Liverpool and a social entrepreneur, General Aduamanfo is the founder and chairman of East Bank School Complex, a private primary, junior high, and senior high complex founded in 2010 in Accra, Ghana. He was a senior research fellow, a member of both the Court of Governors and faculty of the Graduate School of Governance and Leadership of Almond Institute, a private university in Ghana. He has also been a lecturer and a resource person for the Kofi Annan Peacemaking Training Center in Accra, the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency, and the U.S. National Intelligence University in Washington, D.C. In April 2011, General Aduamanfo was honored to be the guest speaker of the U.S. National Intelligence University's annual Distinguished Speakers Program. In December 2017, the Ghana Armed Forces also honored him by naming him after the auditorium of the newly constructed training center and the Department of Defense Intelligence for his outstanding leadership as head of the military intelligence. He is currently the chairman of Acdro. His Excellency, at this stage, may I invite you to address.
We have a scenario here when a granddaughter is introducing her grandfather. Elma Opata is my precious granddaughter. Thank you very much for the compliments. You may resume your seat. The Executive Director of Global Partners, Acdro, the Executive Director of Acdro, the Vice President of Lucas University, thank you very much for your comments, the President of Internet Society Ghana Chapter, our friends from the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all other protocols observed. Good morning to you all. No response? I'm very, very glad this morning to be amongst you. And because of the importance of cybersecurity, looking or deriving from my background, I have come all the way from my duty post in the Republic of Mali to be here with you this morning in Accra, to be part of this workshop this morning. I have taken time off my duties to be here because I value the importance of issues of cybersecurity and cyber crimes, because I was once a victim myself. And when I was at the peak of my career as the head of defense intelligence, when I thought that I was the most protected, that was when I was attacked. One morning when I was busy concluding a report for higher authority, then I received an urgent call from my counterpart in the United States of America, the director of Defense Intelligence Agency, Admiral Wilson himself, called. And he was virtually screaming on the phone, asking, "General, are you well?" Then I said, "Oh, yes, I am very, very well. What's the matter?" He said, "If you are well, then your email has been attacked. Some hackers have gone into your email and sent messages to all your contacts that you have traveled to the UK and you are stranded out there because you have lost your purse with all your credit cards and what have you, and you are asking for help from friends." I was shocked. I was surprised, because I thought that being the head of defense intelligence myself, I couldn't be a victim. So that is how cybercrime, cybersecurity should be looked at. You can attack anybody, anytime, anywhere. And so I treasure issues concerning cybercrimes and cybersecurity. Traditionally, national governments are the main facilitators of national security and, by extension, national cyber security. Governments work with a number of key stakeholders to achieve the goal of ensuring security. The national security system is the major stakeholder. The public sector is an enabling stakeholder, together with academic sector, the professor is here, together with the economic sector, together with civil society organizations, and above all, together with the citizenry themselves. To achieve security and stability and safety in a country, government must constantly engage or communicate with these stakeholders I have mentioned in order to achieve the goals of national security. There is also a need for the different stakeholders to foster cooperation and engagement to ensure that trust is built amongst these stakeholders. In the virtual world or cyberspace, maintaining security is focused on several critical elements in the society. Notably, critical information infrastructure, e-government services, public electronic services, such as mobile service or mobile money, whose compromise might affect the general well-being of the citizens. Security and awareness creation of risks and the emerging threat is very crucial in maintaining security and stability of these conflict and the critical systems. There is also the need to share information amongst certain key stakeholders, like the economic sector and the national security system, to facilitate quick resolution of cybersecurity incidents. The totality of coordinated communications, information sharing, security awareness, education, and cooperation amongst stakeholders constitutes a security strategy, and for cyberspace, a cybersecurity strategy. For a strategy to be effective in addressing the key issues of cybersecurity in a country, the right stakeholders should be part of the strategy development process. The right critical information infrastructure must be correctly identified, and appropriate risk mitigation measures should be adopted. The outline of national cybersecurity strategy I've just described is a traditional approach to development of cybersecurity strategy. The citizen, of course, is a key stakeholder and receives security awareness creation and education so that he or she may be aware of the cybersecurity issues. The relation is more of a push approach as citizen, but does not provide opportunity for direct input into the strategies. Most strategies are driven by national security and public sector concerns. So, my questions are: one, what is the role of the citizens in the process of development and implementation of cybersecurity strategies? And two, how are the rights of these citizens taken into account in the formulation of cybersecurity strategies? I am very sure that these are questions this particular workshop should come up with the responses and the answers. Civil society organizations are known to be advocates for citizens and fight for the rights of the citizen. So, Mr. Executive Director of Civil Society, the ball is in your court. The role of civil society thus becomes very important for the development of cybersecurity strategies. The spate of recent shutdowns of the internet for various seasons, such as examination malpractices and censorship in the African continent, does not send the right signals for the future. Citizens' rights in cyberspace must be entrenched in cybersecurity strategies, and a due process must be used in any shutdowns if it becomes necessary. I mean, if it becomes necessary to shut down any radio station or any cybersecurity outfit, due processes must be pursued. Even when these are incorporated in the strategy, there is also the need to ensure continuous engagement between state actors and civil society organizations to ensure full implementation. This workshop, therefore, I hope, is focused on creating awareness and building capacity of civil society organizations to contribute to the development of a citizen-centric national cybersecurity policy and strategy. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to implore all of you, the participants, to actively participate in the workshop so that the outcome can become a guiding document for our collective effort to secure our cyberspace and ensure digital rights of the citizenry. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, His Excellency. So at this stage, we have come to the next session, but I think we're far behind time. So we will want to take our break now and then take the photo de famille. That's the family photo. And then after that, we will continue with the presentation by Ken Edwamanfo on framing the discussion. So let's take a coffee break right now, and we can come back in 15 minutes. But when we go out there, we're going to take a photo for the workshop, and then we can have coffee, and then we come back. Thank you very much.